You never expect a neighborhood disagreement to escalate into something out of a spy thriller. But when my niece Lauren came to visit for a long weekend, what started as a petty power trip from an overzealous HOA security guard quickly turned into an unforgettable lesson. Never lay a hand on someone without knowing exactly who you're dealing with, especially if that someone works for the CIA with clearance level 7. The arrival. Lauren had always been the quiet one at family gatherings. Not because she was shy, she was observant, steady, calculated. She never talked much about her job, just that it involved government logistics and travel coordination. Only later did I learn those were code words. She was trained, classified, and carried clearance most politicians would envy. She came to visit me that Friday afternoon to unwind. I live in a gated HOA community, the type where the grass is always exactly 2.5 inches high, and where the so-called HOA enforcement officers act like they're guarding Fort Knox. Lauren pulled into my guest spot, stepped out of her black SUV, and was walking toward my porch when one of the neighborhood's HOA cops came speeding around the corner on a golf cart. The confrontation. He hopped off the cart like he was about to save the country from a national threat. Mid-30s, stocky, buzz-cut, sunglasses. He looked like a bouncer from a third-rate nightclub who'd watched too many police procedurals. "Hey, hey, this is private property," he shouted. "Where do you think you're going?" Lauren turned calmly, not flinching. "To visit my uncle." "You're not on the resident list. I don't see a guest pass." "I parked in a marked guest space. The resident knows I'm here. There's no requirement for a pass." "That didn't go over well," he puffed out his chest. "You need to provide ID or leave. Now." Lauren didn't budge. "Not giving you my ID." That's when things went wrong. Fast. He stepped forward and grabbed her arm. And everything changed. What he didn't expect was that my quiet, unassuming niece is a field operative with the Central Intelligence Agency. She moved faster than I could blink. In a single fluid motion, she twisted her arm free, turned his wrist, and pinned him face first against the hood of her SUV. Not aggressive, not violent, controlled, tactical. "Do not put your hands on me," she said calmly. "Ever." I was already running down the driveway at that point. "Lauren, you okay?" She let the guy go and turned to me with a raised brow. "This your neighborhood's idea of hospitality?" The guard stumbled back, stunned. "You just assaulted an officer of the HOA." Lauren, stone cold, pulled out a slim black case from inside her jacket, flipped it open, and held up her ID. "Special Activities Center, Central Intelligence Agency, Level 7 clearance. I suggest you back off before this becomes a federal problem." HOA meltdown. By the time the actual HOA board arrived, summoned by the shaken security guard, Lauren was calmly sipping iced tea on my porch like nothing happened. Mr. Vernon, the board president, rushed over looking like he'd just witnessed a crime scene. "What happened?" he asked nervously. Lauren looked up. "One of your contractors physically restrained a federal officer without cause." The guard was stammering in the background. "She didn't identify herself." "You don't get to put your hands on anyone on that basis," she replied, "especially not someone whose clearance outranks this entire board." Mr. Vernon's face went pale. "Ma'am, we sincerely apologize." Lauren simply smiled. "Then I suggest you retrain your staff, or I'll escalate this beyond an apology." The fallout. The HOA launched a formal review. The guard was suspended indefinitely, and signs suddenly went up reminding staff that physical contact with any resident or guest was strictly prohibited. Lauren never bragged about what happened. She flew out 2 days later like nothing occurred. But Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, must have heard about it because she started crossing the street anytime she saw Lauren visiting again. Final thoughts. What that HOA cop didn't realize is that titles don't make you powerful. Training and restraint do. And when you choose to overstep boundaries, you may find yourself tangled in something much bigger than your clipboard and badge. The neighborhood hasn't had a single physical altercation since, because now even the HOA knows. Don't touch people you don't understand. especially not the ones who work in the shadows to keep you safe.